This week, we're checking out the spring 2021 anime season lineup with shows like To Your Eternity, Don't Toy With Me Miss Nagatoro, Tokyo Revengers, and many more. But first, we discuss the new Dragon Ball Super movie, Zeo's ghost hunting mockumentary idea, the recently announced Made in the Abyss video game, and several other bits of anime news. But if you don't know already, you're listening to the Son of a Geek podcast.
Son of a Geek!
Hey, I'm Spencer.
I'm Zeo.
And we're back again, hello.
We're glad you're back to hear us.
Are you still enjoying your new house?
I am, so far.
Have you found any problems with it yet?
It's haunted.
Is it?
No.
Oh, I was kind of excited. Because I don't believe in that stuff.
It would have been a great story, though, if it was. I don't either.
Oh, well, that might not have been an exciting story then. I hate when I hear people talk about, like, oh man, the house is haunted. I keep hearing all these sounds. It means, like, there's some sort of spirit of possession. And it's just like, no, it's just houses make sounds.
Yeah.
And the only thing that irritates me more are the people that are like, hey, I'll come to your house and I'll light some candles and some incense and we'll ward the spirits away.
It's true. We should start a business doing that, though.
We could. You know what? We should. And charge people. Because we don't need any certificate to prove that we know what we're doing because it's a fake thing to begin with.
Exactly. We can just go in, do a little dance, and, have a little fun, and then, ghosts are gone tonight.
Yeah, and if people want to give us money to make them feel better about their house, then I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll gladly take their money and be like, there's no more ghosts.
Oh, man.
Although, I have always wanted to go ghost hunting.
Have you? Oh, no, you've talked about that a while ago.
Yeah.
You wanted to do like a series or something like that on it. I
do. I want to go ghost hunting so bad, and I would love to document it and make a series out of it. Just to show the experience. But the thing is I want to bring people who do believe in ghosts with me, but be like the only person who doesn't, so I can create scenarios to mess with them.
Oh, so so when you say create scenarios to mess with people, you're gonna go out of your way to try and like trick them into thinking that it's like things are haunted?
No, I'll just make it seem like I'm super in tune with the ghosts, and everything I say they'll believe.
Oh, okay. I imagined it at first where you'd be going around with them and people would be like, oh man, that's a ghost. And you're just like, whatever, you're stupid.
What I'll try to do is I'd act like a skeptic at first, and then I will slowly, in quotations, be swayed to the other side and get possessed or whatever.
Oh.
I'll just do silly little things.
So maybe it's like a ghost hunting show where the premise is you're going to prove that ghosts aren't real, but throughout the whole episode you eventually prove or try to convince the people that you're with that you became possessed by a ghost or something.
Exactly.
That's actually really cool.
Thanks. I thought it'd be fun. I also had an idea to do like a mockumentary ghost hunting thing. Just where like a bunch of people believe in ghosts and they want to go ghost hunting so bad, yet they've never found proof, so they create scenarios that make them believe it.
Oh man. Yeah, all right. I'll fund that for you. How does $20 sound? Canadian.
That is enough to get me a tape recorder.
I guess they're a lot cheaper than I thought they'd be. I was expecting if it was $20 maybe, but if it was 20 Canadian, you'd maybe get like a pack of gum and like some slippers.
Yeah, no, I mean, tape recorders aren't that expensive.
When you do this ghost hunting, can you just always wear slippers?
Absolutely.
Perfect. And if people ask you about it, just tell them you find it more comfortable.
I mean, that would be true. So
you're like trudging through a swamp to get into this like this weird house, and everybody gets in there, and you're walking around, it's just like just the slippers going around.
Why are you wearing those? I find them more comfortable.
Oh man, you should make it look like you care even less, where it's like slippers and a bathrobe. Like that's your
that's
attire.
My thing. This is my ghost hunting gear, just slippers and a bathrobe.
Yeah.
Do I wear like normal clothes under, or just my like boxers with a tank top?
I think boxers with a tank top, because maybe it's the premise is like you don't believe in them. So ghosts are more like imaginary, and imagination time is dreamland. So it's kind of like you're ready for sleepy time, and that's really dumb. In my head, I was like, this is genius, but I didn't know how to pick like Matt and connect everything together.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I started doing it, I'm like, okay, this is dumb now.
Yeah, no, I think it's great because then it'll get me on the news.
Man in bathrobe.
Right? Man in bathrobe goes ghost hunting. Speaking of news, Spen, I got a great segue into some news segments that I picked up for our anime topics.
What is it?
Sorry. Okay. No, I just got a few bits of news and I want to talk to you about them real quick because that's all that happened this week. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
Okay. You know how you're the biggest Dragon Ball Super fan?
Oh yeah, I watch it all the time.
Well, guess what, Spen?
What?
There's a new Dragon Ball Super movie coming in 2022.
Whoa! Are you saying there's gonna be more action and more Dragon Ball Super?
Absolutely is what I'm
pumped
saying.
For that.
Yeah, I knew you would be. There's currently no information about it, but it is going to be directed by, the same people and everything else.
Oh, that's kind of cool. Have you seen Dragon Ball Super at all?
I watched the 2 movies. I watched the one Battle of the Gods, and I watched the one with Gold Frieza, and then I watched 2 or 3 episodes in the beginning of the show, and that was about it.
Because I watched the show up until the purple guy came in and was a prominent character. But that was back when it first came out, so that it wasn't releasing in English yet. And I watched it in Japanese, and I couldn't do it. And then I just never picked it up since.
Oh, well, that's fair. I mean, I'm kind of in the minority right now. My buddy and I have talked about this. I'm actually a bigger fan of GT over Super.
Oh, see, people hate GT so much, but I always loved the premise of it more than all of the other Dragon Ball.
I agree. I thought GT took more interesting routes and did more unique stuff with their characters.
Because a lot of people were really unhappy with it, and nobody ever really explains to why it is. They just say they don't like it.
I agree. I think GT is far superior to Super, but again, I'm probably going to get so much hate for that decision.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. Well, you know that there's a show that came out on Netflix a little while ago. It's Jupiter's Legacy or something like that.
Yes.
Have you started watching that?
I finished the whole show today.
What did you think of it?
I'm very iffy on it.
See, I knew it. Because you know what? I really liked it. I'm absolutely
How'd you know I would be iffy on it?
Because when I read the review, because it doesn't have very good reviews. It's 39% Rotten Tomatoes and 68% user. And you know what most of the negative reviews say? It's too slow.
I don't think it was too slow.
Oh, really?
That's not why I'm iffy on it. I'm iffy because I feel like it's not 100% balanced in tone.
That's fair.
The narrative tone is straightforward. It fits, but the visuals don't necessarily fit, I guess. It's just awkward choreograph, I guess. When they're flying.
Some of the other big reviews on it are that there's 3 different stories going on at once, and they don't really know how to balance it between.
Yeah. I really enjoyed, I liked the idea of both stories.
Well, don't say too much about it because I'm only 3 episodes into it so far.
Oh, well then, Spen. I'm glad you brought it up to talk about when you're not even finished with it.
I was just curious because it just came out. So I was curious if you checked it out. I was really looking forward to you saying it was too slow because I could be like, yeah, well, that's because I like shows that are slow and kind of boring. But that makes
I don't think it's too slow. I think it definitely has minor pacing issues, but I don't think it's too slow by any means. I think it's a different type of superhero show again, where they focus more. I feel like it focuses more on political stuff of the superheroes.
It definitely does. There's not very much action in it, at least from what I've seen so far, and it's kind of more of it takes a bit of the political route of what the main hero dude, what he kind of hopes to achieve, but then it's the younger kids and how they kind of struggle to be the heroes they're supposed to be.
Yeah, I actually really cool. Like the 1920 version of the story too.
It's actually cool. Really
that was the most fascinating part of the show for me. I was more engaged in that aspect of the story than the other one. Not to say the other one's bad. I just think the other one was just more mysterious and more interesting to find out how they got to where they are at,
Mm-hmm. No, I 100% agree with you. It's almost like it kind of, I don't know if this is the right way to explain it, but for me, it kind of gives off a little bit of Indiana Jones kind of vibes with just the whole mystery kind of aspect of it.
I really enjoyed, I can't wait for you to finish it because I do want to talk about it some more. But
oh, nice.
I did enjoy the 1920s storyline. a lot. Like that was my favorite part of the show.
Okay. Because my favorite part right now is it's almost like the like the relationships between everybody and kind of how there's the conflict between them. And
Yeah.
I thought it was very well written, at least so far for the first couple episodes, where you get all of this, like a lot of the drama and the intense moments is just about how the different characters, like the father interacts with his siblings. And it's not done in like a really cheesy, cheap kind of like drama way that you see in some of the shows out there today. It's
Although I think the action is pretty lackluster in the show.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely, when you get shows like The Boys and obviously Marvel movies and DC, like I would say this is like almost right around under the level of like CW, Flash kind of stuff. It just it feels more YouTuber, smaller budget style show when it comes to like the big superhero fights, like that big fight they had in the beginning.
Yeah, it was kind of cool, but at the same time, there not really much happened.
Yeah, so they definitely.
But I wonder if they tried to go for something they felt was more realistic. And maybe
even
that's
with
why
realistic. Then maybe they should have grounded it a little more.
Have you seen a fight in real life?
Yeah,
that's kind of how they go. It's just like you hit each other a couple times.
Yeah, but this
and then
is
you
also
shoot a laser out of your chest.
This is also cinema, so you do have to make it a little flashier. But I was just talking about like just how things felt floaty. Nothing felt heavy.
Oh, I see what you mean. It's really hard to get weight for that in movies. A great example of that is what's it called? Shazam. Shazam's final fight. Like most of Shazam was really good, but then that final fight between the main the main character and the villain, it was really hard to, and you didn't really feel the weight to things, just because, especially when it comes to flying, we can't really relate with it. Like when we see a fight on the ground, we understand gravity and how like falling and getting hit hurts. So there's almost like a subconscious understanding that we have with it. Whereas when characters are flying through the sky, there's like that disconnect where it's like we can't fly naturally. So it's kind of like we don't really feel the weight has to be really, really shown in a very effective and powerful way. Kind of like how it was in like Batman versus Superman and stuff like that. Before we'll so if it's someone that doesn't understand that, like how to really fit it, like maybe it looks cool and it's awesome, but we won't get that connection with the weight to make it kind of
everything definitely felt like people were just hanging on wires.
Yeah, well, they probably were. Because then Zeo, they're not actually flying, it's special effects.
Oh, dang it.
Yeah, so that is all just wires.
Oh, okay. Well, speaking of wires, let me wire my way over to this next bit of anime news.
All right, go.
So, remember how we watched Jobless Reincarnation?
Yeah.
I don't remember. Did you say you finished that?
I have finished it.
Okay. Well, get pumped because the team that is working on season 2, because they announced season 2 at the end of season 1, they're working on season 3 at the same time.
I heard about that.
So they're doing both seasons at once, which I thought was interesting. I mean, it's good that the studio behind them feels so confident they're going to fund 2 more seasons, but it's weird that they're doing them at the same, like, in one project. Why not just make it a long...
Well, is it one team or 2 teams?
I don't know.
Because it's all based off of books. So the whole story is already set in stone.
Yeah, I know that, but I meant like I just found it interesting that they're working at the same time.
Well, I feel like after how the first season went, in my mind, there's no way there wouldn't be a 3rd season because I think it was pretty popular. It was like
I agree. Like it was kind of caught everybody off guard, and it was just a phenomenal show. The animation on it's gorgeous, and it was just great. I loved every minute of the show. My
only problem with it is that we didn't just get more episodes.
I agree. I felt like the ending of it was kind of awkward. It almost felt mid-season-ish rather than like a season finale, you know?
Yeah.
Like they definitely left it to where it was going to continue into something else.
But it was enough that it just really wanted me to have more. I'm okay with how they ended it, but yeah, you are right. It didn't feel like the end of a season.
Yeah, but I loved it.
Did you? I've talked to you a bit about Made in Abyss. Have you ever seen that?
I have watched it, and I know they're making a 3D action RPG based on the popular season. They're announcing a second season, by the way.
Is that your news that you were bringing today?
That was one of my news. I'm very excited. I actually never finished season 1. I got really close. I think I got to I'm like 2 or 3 episodes away from the ending.
Well, don't finish it because then then it never ends for you.
Is that a page out of the Spen's book of watching anime?
Yeah, there's another. I don't remember. There's one show right now. I don't remember what it is. I haven't finished the last episode of it because I just don't want the show to end.
Great.
Oh, yeah, no. The Good Place. The Good Place. I never finished the last episode of that. So that
you need to finish The Good Place.
Not gonna lie, the last 2 episodes I really fell off of on it. I don't like how it's ending.
What?
I think it's a creative choice, and I think it works really well for the show. But I just don't like it because I think that's the show that had me just stop watching anime for a while.
The Good Place is a really good show.
All I watched. It's the
Good
only
Place is
thing.
Amazing. Like the cast is phenomenal. Everybody's hilarious. The writing is top notch.
It's so good. There was a transition from season 1 into season 2.
Yeah.
Maybe it was season 2 into season 3. It was when when they left The Good Place.
Yeah.
Then I was just kind of like, I don't know if I like this. And it felt like it took a while to get its groove back.
I don't know. I thought it held pretty well. I was engulfed the entire time. I mean, I stuck around for the characters because the characters are great.
So in the last season, they get to a thing, right? I don't want to spoil it. You know what I'm talking about. They get to a thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I kind of expected that to be a whole nother season on its own.
Really?
Yeah, I thought it because the people were like, we quit.
I mean, it's
yours now. And I was really looking forward to seeing them fix things.
Yeah, but
I also just didn't want the show to end.
Yeah, I can kind of see it too, but I think them kind of doing what they did was perfectly fine as well because it makes sense. I mean, you reach the goal, you know?
And I just checked on Netflix. I pretty much watched exactly half of the last episode, and then I haven't picked it up since.
Oh my goodness, man. Either way, I also love that show. It's so good.
Yeah, I still don't think I've finished Cowboy Bebop. I don't remember if I've seen the...
Oh my goodness, Spen.
That's another one that I just never want the show to end, so it kind of keeps going that way.
I mean, here's the thing. Just watch the anime. Then there's a movie, and now a live-action TV show's coming out this year.
Yeah, hopefully it's going to be pretty good.
Hopefully. We'll see how it goes. But seeing how it goes, you know how I've talked about in the past how I don't really watch OVAs?
Yeah, OVAs?
Yeah, whatever you want to call them.
Well, just in case, because I've never heard them called OVAs before.
I call them OVAs, okay?
Nothing wrong with it.
But anyways, Love is War is one of my favorite
I should have said I'll get over it.
Love is War is one of my favorite animes. I absolutely think it's amazing. And it's actually getting OVAs. And it'll probably be the first OVAs I actually watch.
Really? I couldn't do that show. We talked about that last podcast, I think.
I know. You like the whole would they, won't they, said it made you uncomfortable with the whole love thing. And
I think I also just kind of found it boring.
I freaking
I'll try it again.
enjoyed every moment of that show. When I started it, I was always interested because the animation art style kind of caught my attention. And they dubbed the second season before they dubbed the first season.
Oh,
so I just didn't watch it. And I just waited. And finally the first season dubbed and I just binged the whole 2 seasons right away. And I hope they get a third season, which from what I understand, I believe they're working on third season right now in this article that I read.
Oh, okay.
But they're announcing OVAs for the show, and I'm probably actually going to watch them because the nature of the show makes sense to have these, and it won't do anything that won't make me enjoy it. So,
well, thinking back at the show, I think maybe it's just I couldn't find myself relating with either of the main characters.
And is it because you're a heartless monster and never been in love?
Yeah, and then maybe that's what it is.
Well, then you'll relate to one of the main characters. So you should watch the show anyways.
Well done.
No, it's actually I don't normally like those types of shows, especially shows that are a little over the top. But I really found myself enjoying how the show functions because it does it like mini episodes within an episode. So there's like a good 5-6 minute bit, and then they go, "Oh, this is the end of this battle. So and so wins," and then they do another skit, and they're just small little bite-sized things. So you can just stop them there if you want, and move on and come back to it later, or you can continue to watch, and then they kind of connect to each other. And all the characters are just really fun.
Maybe it's just better that I don't enjoy it, because then it kind of helps keep with the whole we don't really usually like the same shows.
I didn't realize those were characters we had to display.
Well, because generally when I really like a show,
yeah,
unless it's something like pretty mainstream, then you don't really like it. And there's shows that you like that I'm just like, I don't really care for. Like that high school one, that's dumb.
High School DxD?
I still haven't even tried it, so.
You definitely won't like it. It will make you super uncomfortable, but it's one of the funniest shows I've ever seen. I stick to that today.
Oh, okay.
But I will say Love is War is right behind it. I laughed a lot at Love is War, and it's really good.
Well, no, it had funny moments.
And the theme song's pretty awesome.
Oh, I don't even remember it.
Just listen to it, and then you'll remember it.
Okay, maybe that's what it was. Maybe I just skipped the intro, and that's why I don't like the show.
There you go. That's it. That's it. That's all I got for news, though, Spen. I don't have anything else.
Well, I got something for you.
Okay, what do you got?
You're awesome.
Aw, thanks. I already knew that, though.
Yeah, hot off
really
the
news.
But yeah, I'm excited to be talking about anime because we've got a whole new season of anime that neither of us have really started.
That's true. And we didn't really talk about the season coming up to the season because things happened and we haven't done the podcast in a hot minute.
Yeah, but now it's back and I've been watching 2 shows out of this season and that's it. And so I don't know what really most of these are because there's not too many returning shows this season.
I've only watching one show of this season. And I haven't known anything else about any other show. So
what have you been watching?
Just My Hero Academia season 5.
Oh, I know, right? It's so good.
Yeah, it's all right so far. It's good now. It's getting good now. It was slow in the beginning. We talked about this last week.
Yeah, but I mean, we're still a few episodes. Well, you a couple more episodes away from seeing the fight we're all looking forward to, and it's Midoriya.
Yeah. Either way, I'm excited. I like the fact that other characters are getting to shine, and they're more interesting than they were before. So.
Well, because I think there's 5 fights that have to happen.
Yeah.
And then I think as we get closer, the fights might take longer.
That's fair. I think Midoriya's fight's going to take at least 3 episodes.
Yeah, because we're on fight 3 out of 5 right now. And I believe it's 2 episodes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, who knows what'll happen after that?
Who knows?
Yeah, it's if you don't know what My Hero Academia is, then you probably don't know what anime is.
Yeah, and we don't know why you're listening to this podcast.
You should go check it out if you don't know what it is. It's a really well-written show. There are hundreds of characters in it, but they all feel kind of important and cool. And yeah, it's an anime about superheroes that are in superhero high school, learning to be the heroes.
If you love the Marvel Cinematic Universe and The Boys and DC and things like that, and you just like superheroes, this is a great introduction to anime for you because 1, it's anime. 2, it's about superheroes. And I do gotta say, like, they do a really good job at making unique superheroes with powers you don't typically see.
Yeah, although there are a bunch of them where I'm like, wow, that power is really stupid.
They do have a bunch of dumb powers, but they come up with creative ways to use these powers each time. And that's probably my favorite part, is creative use of the powers.
Well, just you wait, because the episode that just released has probably the dumbest power I've ever seen in my entire life. So
I'm very excited. My favorite superhero was Best Jeanist.
Oh, he's really cool.
And then they just randomly killed him with a question mark.
Yeah.
They like blew a hole in his chest and then never talk about him again. Like they don't have a funeral for him. He seemed like a very important character.
Well, there's a couple characters they've never talked about again.
It just seems so weird that they just glossed over his death. I feel like it was supposed to be pretty impactful, and then they just never bring it up.
Well, there are a lot of characters and a lot of things going on.
I understand. It was just weird because he was like a main character for a while.
Maybe the writer was just like, you know what? I don't like this guy anymore. I'm just gonna kill him. Done.
I guess. Yeah, that's probably what happened. But
well, at
it's
least
a great show if you haven't watched anime and you like superheroes.
So we're kind of going through a list of here. Nothing's in alphabetical order. It's just in the order of what livechart.me has. So if you guys want, head to livechart.me and just look up spring 2021. And you guys can kind of follow along with us.
We'll give you about 3 seconds to do that.
We also have switched all the titles into English titles so that it's easier for us.
Yeah.
If you want the Japanese titles, then type out what we say, but then put it into a converter to change it from English into Japanese, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, do that. So let's get started.
Yeah, well, we already got started, but...
Oh, dang it. I missed it.
This next one is So I'm a Spider, So What? And it's my favorite show right now.
Yeah, I was going to say, you love that show, right? Like, this is still the first season, or is this the second season?
This is the second season now, I believe. Well, technically, it's the first season. It's 24 episodes.
So the second half of the first season.
Yeah, I only thought it was going to be a 12 episodes, but I'm really glad they went to 24. We've got a synopsis here.
It's kind of shonen, isn't it? Like, doesn't it have action and stuff?
I wouldn't consider it shonen.
Really?
No, it doesn't even have that on the... It's an action, adventure, comedy, mystery, fantasy magic.
I guess if I paid attention to these, I would have gotten it, but I guess not. All right.
So this is season 2, part 2 of the first season. It's I, the protagonist, was just an ordinary high school girl, but suddenly I was reincarnated as a spider monster in a fantasy world. Not only that, but I awakened in a dungeon filled with vicious monsters. Armed with only my human knowledge and my overwhelming positivity, I'm forced to use spiderwebs and traps to defeat far stronger monsters just to stay alive. So begins the labyrinth survival story of a girl with incredible mental strength living as one of the lowest ranking beasts.
Wait, so the main character's a girl?
Well, she was, but she was reincarnated into a new world as a spider.
Oh. I always, based off all the pictures and posters I saw, just assumed the main character was a boy.
So see the bottom there where there's the spider?
Yeah.
That is the main character.
Yeah, I understand, but like, they always showed the blue hair guy, like, in the forefront, so I assumed that was the person who got reincarnated into a spider.
Well, it's kind of complicated because there's really what's neat about this show is there's 2 stories going on at the same time. One of the girl who's reincarnated into the spider and how she's kind of trying to survive and work her way through this labyrinth. And then there's also the characters up above that you see in the picture. There's the blue-haired boy, where he is kind of the main character of the other story. And all of the characters in this, all of the main characters in the show, they were all in a classroom together, and they all died together and were reincarnated into this world together.
Wait, how'd they die?
We don't know.
Oh, all right. I'm kind of interested. I might check this show out. Do you think I would like it?
I don't know. I think there's potential for you to like it. You might get bored of it at some times because there are some moments where it feels like it drags on. But it doesn't happen very often. The whole survival elements are kind of neat with it. The only other thing I can say about it is it's kind of set up like it's like an MMO kind of world, but they do it in a really unique way.
All right.
But yeah, I really like the show. It's my favorite show that I'm watching right now. If My Hero Academia and So I'm a Spider came out on the same day, I'd watch the Spider one first.
Wow.
But I also have read all the chapters. I'm up to date with My Hero, so that might be a part that plays into it.
Oh, okay. Okay. So then I imagine on our yay or nay scale, you would be a yay.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, we're bringing the scale back, baby.
Yeah, I would be 100% be a yeah.
Yeah. I guess I would be a yeah. My curiosity is piqued now that I've talked to you about it. But after that, Spen, we got another show. We got more of these to talk about, so we got to go.
Yeah, there's a fair bunch of them.
All right, so the next one is Higehiro. After being rejected, I shaved and took in a high school runaway.
What?
I want to watch the show.
I already want to watch it.
All based on this title. On his way home from drinking his sorrows away after being rejected by his crush, the 26-year-old salaryman Yoshida finds a high school girl named Sayu sitting on the side of the road. Yoshida is completely drunk and out of his mind, ends up letting Sayu stay the night at his place. Not having the heart to put Sayu out on the street since she ran away from home, Yoshida allows her to stay at his place, and so began the awkward, irritable, and slightly heartwarming relationship between a runaway high school girl and a salaryman living together.
Oh no, now I'm a little concerned about it.
Why?
But it only says drama and romance in the title, so I'm going to give this a yay.
Yeah, I'm very excited because the title is ridiculous, and I've made it my one duty to watch all ridiculous titles.
Yeah, well, because very rarely, like, if you're going to put a ridiculous title, it's got to be good. Otherwise, no one's going to...
It's true. No one's going to give a crap or watch it.
Yeah.
But,
this one's kind of neat. I'm very excited for this one now.
Yeah, and looking at the poster, it has kind of a more grounded animation for anime versus the over-exaggerated features you often get in a lot of action and fantasy anime.
Yeah,
so I'm pretty excited about that.
It's kind of got a Your Name feel to it, with like how the light comes in from the top of it. I know that's a big a terrible example, but like compared to most anime posters, this one just feels more like I'd expect it to be a movie.
Yeah, there's nothing about this poster that screams, hey, look at me. It's kind of subdued, very calm, and I think those posters tend to stand out to me the most because I feel like they're all about the narrative.
Mm-hmm.
Like Wandering Priority, it was just a yellow poster with an egg on it.
Oh, I still gotta finish that.
It's one of the best animes I've seen last season. It was so good.
I still gotta finish that.
Yeah, you do. But enough about this anime. We gotta keep going.
All right, so the next one we got here is How Not to Summon a Demon Lord.
We didn't do it. I'm a yay!
Yay! I think we did.
Okay.
Yeah, so How Not to Summon a Demon Lord. I believe this is the second season.
Yeah, this was like your favorite anime last season, wasn't it? Weren't you a big fan of this?
No, I want to make sure I really point out that it wasn't. There were things I really liked.
Never stopped talking about it, guys. Like he just wouldn't shut up.
Did I actually talk about this one a
lot? Yes.
I don't remember talking about it a lot.
I'm just kidding. I don't remember you talking about it.
Okay, because I was going to say, like, part of me hurts inside. Because it's an ecchi.
I know, that's why I brought it up.
I have watched the whole first season, but...
Oh my god, what'd you think about it?
Well, let me give a quick let me read the synopsis out here first.
It's such a long synopsis.
It's okay, I'm not reading all of it. I'm just reading the first little part, because that's all we need. All right. So, cool. After being summoned to another world as his character from a game, Diablo, real name Sakamoto Takuma, he enjoys life in a world just like his game, where two women, Shara and Rem, both insist, "I'm the one who summoned you," which is pretty much all you need to know for the synopsis, really, to get the show going.
Okay.
It's kind of interesting. So these two girls, like in the synopsis said, they summon him into this world, and he's now kind of like this demon lord within the world. So it's another one of those ones where the main character has too much power. But they do it in a really interesting way because he doesn't really understand how the world works. So yes, he's very powerful, but he's kind of going through, and he spends most of his time learning how things operate and using his demon powers to save these ladies. And all of the girls that you can see there on the poster, they all fall in love with him. And there's a lot of very uncomfortable situations where they're just trying to like convince him to sleep with them, but he doesn't really know that that's trying to happen. And it's just...
How did you get through a first season of this?
Because the premise and the concept of him going through and like solving problems and getting through the world intrigued me and interested me enough to keep going and pushing through the rest of it.
Okay, then. Well, that's going to be a nay for me. No interest in this anime whatsoever.
I guess in our scale, I can't really give a true neutral. So I'm going to have to go with the nay.
Dear nay. There we go.
It's going to be a nay.
Nay. I mean, you can add, inflection to help scale it.
No, I don't know. Because I kind of want to go... They left off the first season in a way where I was interested to see where the story was going to go. But I don't know if... I don't know. I might need like a bunch of other shows.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Spen is super excited for season 2.
All right, I don't think the next one needs a synopsis. One Piece.
It's One Piece. They're going on episode 1000, so move it on.
I don't think... Is it up at 1,000 now? Or it might be past that.
If you look at the poster, it says episode 974 Comes
Oh wow,
out
they're
in
getting
5
up there.
days. Yeah.
That's crazy. I wonder if the manga's still going.
I have no idea. I was never interested in One Piece, and I don't care about this anime.
So this next one, I think we read the synopsis for this one in last season.
Did we?
It seems familiar, or I might have read it already, and I don't know.
Well, then I'll read it. Don't toy with me, Miss Nagatoro. A girl in a lower grade just made me cry. One day, Senpai visits the library after school and becomes a target of a super sadistic junior. The name of the girl who teases him, torments, and tantalizes Senpai is Nagatoro. She's annoying yet adorable. It's painful, but you still want to be by her side. This is a story about an extremely sadistic and temperamental girl, and you'll feel something awaken inside of you.
The way they word the synopsis, I don't really know what to feel about it. I think when I read this before, they didn't have the title or whatever it is, the categories of it. So I thought it was going to be an ecchi. But now that I don't see ecchi there, and it's just slice of life comedy romance, I'm actually really interested in it.
I'm interested too, because the synopsis is good. The synopsis made me laugh, and that's enough for me to give it a shot.
Yeah, it's
so I'm gonna give it a yay.
I'm gonna give it a yay too.
Yeah. I'm gonna check this one out. What is it coming out on?
I don't know. It's coming out on
Crunchyroll.
I guess we should mention everything we've mentioned so far is coming out on Crunchyroll.
Gosh dang it. But I prefer Funimation.
Well, I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, okay.
Funimation I'm scrolling down and looking through a bunch of these. I don't see Funimation on any of them, so I don't know if this thing even just tells you what's coming out on Funimation.
Oh, that's fair. All right. Well, whatever. We'll see. I'll find a way to watch it eventually.
Yeah, so the next one we got here is To Your Eternity.
What's that about, Spen?
An epic fantasy saga of an immortal hero's quest to understand what it is to live. In the beginning, an orb is cast onto Earth. It can do two things, change into the form of a thing that stimulates it, and come back to life after death. It morphs from orb to rock, then to wolf, and finally to boy, but roams about like a newborn who knows nothing. As a boy, it becomes Fushi. Through encounters with human kindness, Fushi not only gains survival skills, but grows as a person. But his journey is darkened by the inexplicable and destructive enemy Knocker, as well as cruel partings with the people he loves. Fushi continues his eternal quest, bearing the pain of living with the fortitude of someone who chooses his own path.
But what is it? That's what I want to know.
I don't know if we're supposed to know what it is.
This seems dumb. I'm just kidding.
It's some sort of world has existed for some time.
Yeah.
And then this orb was this super powerful thing, but it's now just it's changed from to different things over time, but now it's finally become a person or something like that.
I have a feeling it's a story about an incredibly powerful person who's like, oh my god, this guy is the strongest thing in the world.
At first I was gonna say I don't really get that, but it is shonen.
Oh, yep, there we go. See, how could you not get that though? I mean, for me, when it morphs into a boy roams about newborn knows nothing, the only thing that makes sense in that sense is if it's super strong. It makes you think of Goku or the main character from Trigun. Characters like that.
I was kind of hoping it would go more. Have you seen Casher and Sins?
I have not.
Oh, dang it. I was kind of hoping it would go along with the lines of that, where it's just kind of like a character where, yeah, sure, he's powerful, but it's more about kind of him and the exploration.
Yeah, kind of like Nino's journey.
Kind of, yeah.
But because that's kind of what that's about. You just find various little adventures while he's exploring the world. Anyways, I don't know. I'm kind of
I'm leaning more towards a nay.
It's one of those things where I might check it out, but I'll probably stop at about 10 minutes into the anime.
What I have a hard time with it is one of my favorite shows is How to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon. And the main character in that, Belle Cornell, kind of looks like the main character from this show.
Well, it's reminds me of a pretty cliche, really powerful main character. So, there's another one called D. Grayman. Looks a lot like him, too.
Okay, yep. No, that makes sense.
I feel like the gray hair, the blue hair, and black hair are the most popular hair colors for your main characters. But moving on, we got the Slime Diaries. Dear Diary, I got reincarnated as a slime. The end. Just kidding. Even in another world, lives aren't always on the same line. There's plenty of work to be done, from feeding the community, foraging the items the community needs, as well as plenty of play and hijinks throughout. Join Rimuru and friends as they kick back and enjoy their daily lives. So it basically just, it seems like a slice of life side story to I got reincarnated as a slime.
I believe that's what it is. But
they've done that with a few animes in the past.
Most of what I've seen for it, for like the pictures and stuff, I thought it was like a chibi version of everything.
Oh, this poster doesn't look chibi though.
No, I'm very confused now.
But have you ever watched like an anime?
Oh, I wonder if this kind of takes place in like because there's different parts in the first season or the main show where it kind of like time kind of like skips by. So this just might be some of like the slice of life stuff in between then.
Have you ever watched an anime where it's the main storyline and then they come out with like these side story animes? And then have you ever watched those before?
Not often.
Like being a fan of the main anime?
This one I will though.
I wonder if there's like a big audience for that. Really? You like the reincarnated as a slime anime?
I liked a lot of the characters. Okay. And I'm interested to try this out now that I've read it. I thought it was like a chibi version of the thing, so that's why I had no interest in it before.
I've only ever watched one anime like this, and I've never been interested too much in any other anime. I used to watch a show called Full Metal Panic.
Oh, yeah, you talked about that before.
Yeah, it's like a Gundam-esque show with, focus on the military and stuff. And then they came out with one called Full Metal Panic Fumafu, which was more side stories of the main characters. That's the only one I've ever watched kind of like this type of, slice of life aside from the main action and storyline.
Oh, okay.
But I'm kind of a nay here because I didn't even watch I want to be reincarnated as a slime.
Yeah, I'm going to go for like a yay.
Okay. All right.
But the next one we got here is Tokyo Revengers. This one actually looks kind of cool from the picture.
Everyone's standing in a super cool pose.
So Takemichi Hanagaki is a freelancer that's reached the absolute pits of despair in his life. He finds out that the only girlfriend he ever had in his life that he dated in middle school, Hinata Tachibana, had been killed by the ruthless Tokyo Manji gang. The day after hearing about her death, he's standing on the station platform and ends up being pushed over onto the tracks by a herd of people. He closes his eyes thinking he's about to die. But when he opens his eyes back up, he somehow had gone back in time 12 years. Now that he's back living the best days of his life, Takemichi decides to get revenge on his life by saving his girlfriend and changing himself that he'd been running away, or changing himself that he'd been running away from.
That's it. I'm sold.
Yeah, that's really cool. At first, I thought it was like a gang type thing, and it was going to be something kind of cool and like dark. We've watched a couple shows where it's like going back in time and changing your life, and they've never been bad. At least the ones that we've seen.
I have yet to see a bad one. And I love time travel. So I'm just super hooked. This is definitely going to the top of my list of interested.
What was the one? There was one that we watched a couple seasons ago where it was a gentleman went back in time and then he kind of lived through as like a small kid again.
Yeah. Oh man, it was in 2016 is when it came out. 2016.
It had like a really interesting name to it as well.
Erased,
yeah.
I love that anime. It's so good. That one was an anime I watched multiple times because I watched it and then I had to show my wife the anime because my wife's not really into too much anime, but she likes some that have like a really gripping story. And that one was one of them. So I watched it again with her instantly, and then I watched it a third time with another friend. It was just such a good anime.
Yeah,
and I'm really hoping Tokyo Revengers follows a similar beat. My only fear is it says shonen in it.
I was gonna bring that up.
I'm worried that this is just gonna go on forever. But let's hope it's just a 12 and done.
It's 24 episodes.
Well,
or sorry, 24 minutes. My bad.
Yeah, I'm hoping this is just a 12 and done, and then I'll be totally okay with it.
I guarantee there's going to be 2 seasons. There's no such thing as a shonen with 1 season.
I know. Unless it's 24 my fear. Episodes. That's my fear. I can accept 24 episodes.
Well, even Erased was 24 episodes, wasn't it?
No, it was only 12.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right, well.
But moving on, we got Combatants will be dispatched. Corporation turns its sights on interstellar conquest, and who better to take over a magical world than 2 randomly assigned minions? Combatant Agent 6 and his android partner Alice. But 6's path up the evil corporate ladder won't be easy. A demon lord's army is hatching its own nefarious plan. I hate everything about the synopsis.
Really?
And I don't want to watch this at all.
Oh, well, I'm already. You were halfway through saying that. I'm like, this is kind of cool. And then you're talking about like the Demon Lord, and I'm like, oh, done. I'm in. I'm all for it.
It's too much. It's too much. I'm not for that.
I'm all for it. Give me this show. But
what killed me right here is Combatant Agent 6 and his android partner Alice, and then they show a little girl with blonde hair. Nope. Not even interested. I hate that freaking stereotype.
It doesn't say
drives
ecchi.
me bonkers. I know. It doesn't have to be ecchi.
Well, that's what made me excited for it.
It just drives me bonkers.
But I also
have one of my least favorite tropes.
I also have a very different thing with like the whole like evil corporate, like trying to like climb the ranks of an evil thing, because that's like my whole stream concept is like taking over the world is like an evil organization. So I like that kind of stuff.
Well, I hope you love this anime, Spen. For me, it's a big fat nay.
Well, I'm pumped for it, so.
And it's on Funimation.
Where do you see Funimation?
At the bottom.
I don't see Funimation. Does Funimation have a different symbol?
Yeah, if you scroll down in the synopsis. Source.
Oh, Source Funimation.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. So I've been killing slimes for 300 years and maxed out my level is the next one we're taking a look at here.
I mean, it sounds right there in the title to me.
So it's an at-home comedy about a powerful girl who doesn't work too hard. After dying of overworking in the real world, I'm reincarnated as an immortal witch, and I spend 300 years enjoying a relaxing life. At some point, though, I end up at level 99. All those years spent killing slimes to make money, to pay the bills, have given me tons of experience points. Rumors of the level 99 witch spread, and soon I'm up to my ears in curious adventures, duelist dragons, and even a monster girl calling me her mom. This isn't dojo, so don't come here to fight. Oh, this isn't a dojo, so don't come here to fight me. I've never been on an adventure, but I'm the strongest in the world. What's going to happen in my relaxing life? Who knows?
My biggest problem with this is you didn't read that in a girly voice when she was making that statement.
I don't like in synopsises when they try to like have dialogue from another character in it.
Yeah.
And I don't enjoy them when the synopsis is from the perspective of the character.
So far, I hate this synopsis, but like, if you give this one saying a read through, like in a girly voice, I might like it. Go away, Spen. Just go for it. You have to now.
It's hard because my parents are upstairs right now and they're gonna hear it.
That's fine. I don't mind.
All right, here we go. This isn't a dojo, so don't come here to fight me. How's that? That's not very good.
That was garbage, Spen.
I'm sorry. Can you one up it?
Yeah.
All right.
This isn't a dojo, so don't come here to fight me. Perfect. Now I'm interested in the anime.
Did we do yay or nay for the last one? I think we basically did.
Yeah, we did.
Okay. Well, for this one, I'm gonna go yay. Actually, I'm
gonna go check it nay. Totally not gonna check it out.
I wasn't interested in it before until now.
I figured you would because of the whole reincarnation thing.
Well, it's not the reincarnation thing. It kind of feels, it's called a comedy fantasy, but it kind of feels more along the lines of like fantasy slice of life, possibly. Because originally I thought it was going to be a slice of life. But it's not the reincarnation that interests me. I just love fantasy themed.
Okay.
It just happens to be that 90% of the fantasy shows right now are reincarnation shows.
That's true. Well, if you love fantasy themed, Spen, you're going to love this next one. Welcome to Demon School. Iramakun, Season 2. So it's a continuation from last season. The chaotic school life continues. Suzuki, human and deeply non-aggressive, one day becomes a grandson of the great demon Sullivan. Doted on beyond belief, Aruma starts school where Grandpa serves as the chair and finds to his surprise that he enjoys life there with Asmodeus, Clara, and the rest of his demon classmates. But just when Aruma thought he'd fit in, there's more trouble ahead. A ring begins to talk and Aruma goes bad? Aruma's chaotic demonic life at school continues.
I might check it out. My sister was really big into the first season of this. I think the first season came out a while ago.
Oh, is this one of those animes that came out and then it like took a few years to get a second season?
I think I want to say it's been several, maybe it's over a year since its last season came out.
Okay.
But it was kind of neat because it's this young kid who is he's like all around, he's like a good cut. He's a good kid, but he ends up getting basically adopted by this demon and is put into demon school. So it's him kind of working through still being kind of like a good person, but interacting with the demons at the school. But then he's
Okay.
also got to like, I believe he's supposed to try and keep the under wraps that he's a human, because then the demons will try and eat him or something like that. So there's a bunch of different like kind of neat things at play. I only saw the first 3 or 4 episodes, and then I kind of fell off of it. Not because it's a bad show, but there were just a lot of other better shows at the time.
Well, I'm a nay.
I'm gonna be a nay as well. If there weren't so many other shows this season, then I'd go back and rewatch the first season. But again, it's another one of those ones where there's just so many other shows that I'm more interested in.
I oddly like. I don't have like anything against it, but I find myself not really enjoying shows about demons too much. I feel like it's a pretty common trope in a lot of anime, and I just tend to avoid them.
What about The Devil is a Part-Timer?
Yeah, didn't care about that either.
Really?
Yeah. Once I see demon involved, I just for some reason don't care. I don't know why.
Oh man, you should really go back and check out The Devil is a Part-Timer. Because it's basically like Satan, the most powerful demon of the whole world, finds his way into the real world, and he ends up having to get a job at a fast food joint to be able to survive.
Now, explain to me this. Is he a big buff guy, or is he a scrawny teenager?
When he comes to this world, he looks like a scrawny teenager.
Yeah, I don't care.
Okay.
If he was a big buff guy and he had to have a part-time job, I'd be more interested.
Did you ever... There was a show, a movie a long time ago. I don't remember... Oh, shoot. I don't remember the actor's name. But he was like a prince in like a foreign land, and he came over to America and like worked at like a Burger King or something like that.
Coming to America?
Eddie Murphy? Yeah, Coming to America. It's kind of like... It's like the anime version of Coming to America.
Ah. All right.
But with demons and magic.
Sometimes. Yeah, we'll see. I might check it out. But let's not hold our breath.
Okay. Sorry, I derailed it there a little bit.
Yeah, you're fine.
We got 8686. Called Juggernaut, these are the unmanned combat drones developed by the Republic of San Magnolia. Magnolia.
Magnolia.
Let me cut that out and try that again. Called Juggernaut, these are the unmanned combat drones developed by the Republic of San Magnolia. In answer to the attacks by the anonymous unmanned drones of the neighboring empire Giad, the Legion. They're only unmanned in name. In reality, they are piloted by the 86ers. Those considered to be less than human and treated as mere tools. Determined to achieve his own mysterious ends, Shin, the captain of Spearhead Squadron, which is comprised of 86ers, continues to fight a hopeless war on a battlefield where only death awaits him. As his battle rages on, Relena, an elite Republic soldier, arrives at his new handler, Lothar, the way the... Oh my god. They have... some synopsis is just so hard to read.
I know, they're so complicated.
As his battle rages on, Lena, an elite Republic soldier, arrives as his new handler. Loathing the way the Republic uses the 86ers as cannon fodder, despises them for being pigs in human skin. She resolves instead to treat them as human beings. A young man, an 86er who constantly faces death on the front lines, and a promising young woman of the military elite. Ordinarily, they would never have crossed paths, but now, as a fierce war rages around them, they're looking towards the future. I wonder if it ends up that way because of translation.
Maybe. That's a good possibility, yeah, because it's a lot of awkward writing as well, and it's pretty long for a synopsis. Ultimately, though, I'm interested by the poster. However, I'm not a huge fan of mecha animes, typically. But
it doesn't look like normal mechas. They're like little spider things.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll give it a shot. I'm curious. I'm very curious because I do gotta say one anime that caught me off guard was Odd Noah Zero. I love that anime. And I'm really hoping that this kind of gives me a similar storyline to that. So I'm definitely gonna say this is a yay.
I was a yay until I read the synopsis, and I'm just worried that the show's gonna be as convoluted and complicated as the synopsis is.
It's quite possible, but you'll find that out right away.
That's fair.
If
so
the show
if
the show starts off with like a 5-minute monologue about the history, then that's how you know it's
that is a completely fair point.
But next we got Full Dive. This Ultimate Next Gear Gen Full Dive RPG is even shittier than real life. Hiroshi has just picked up Kiwami Quest in the realest VR MMO ever made, but this RPG is too lifelike. He can smell, taste, feel, and even when he hurts in it, his physical body hurts too. Even worse, his abilities in this adventure suck as much as they do in daily life. This was supposed to be immersion, not reality. Consumed with winning, he swears he'll conquer this game, even if it kills him.
I'm kind of interested in it.
The title. I have been interested in this This is on Funimation. It's on my watch list. I'm waiting for a dub to come out, and I'm gonna watch the crap out of this.
The one thing I don't like is the poster with that girl with the red hair because she's not wearing anything.
Yeah, she's probably gonna be the worst character in this show, but I'm pretty excited for the premise.
I guarantee you she's gonna be the worst character in the show because there's a character that looks exactly like her in I was reincarnated as a slime, and I don't like her.
Oh, great.
She's gonna be over the top aggressive and never listens to reason.
That's fair. You can just tell because she's jumping while everyone else is walking and or running. She doesn't even follow the rules in the poster, Spen.
She doesn't even follow
I am definitely a yay. Like I said, ridiculous titles suck me in, and then I'll decide if I hate them after I watch a few episodes.
Yeah, I'm a yay for this one as well. I know I started the first episode of this, but I don't remember why I never finished it. And it wasn't because I lost interest. I think it was because something else came up.
Okay.
So the next one we've got is 7 Deadly Sins, Dragon's Judgment.
There's a million of these. Who cares?
Well, yeah.
I'm just kidding. But no, for real. There's a lot
of seasons have come out for this.
Yeah, this is one of those shows that's going to continue to go and have pretty mixed reviews throughout the show. Because I feel like every other season, people hate.
What scares me is that synopsis is, where will the 3,000-year journey of Meliodas and Elizabeth lead? Who will emerge as the true enemy? The final arc begins. It's like, well, that's great. Thanks for all the information.
Wait, the final arc? So is this ending?
Yes, it is ending.
Oh, man, that kind of makes me want to watch it now.
But it's going to be 24 episodes. It's episode 8. Oh, so this is part 2 of the final season.
Oh, I thought it looked familiar.
So last season this started, it looks like.
I thought it seemed really familiar.
I don't think I'm going to watch it. I'm going to just go straight out and say a nay because I hated one of the middle seasons.
I'm probably not going to watch it too. I've seen the first 2 seasons and I just have lost interest.
I liked the first season, and then the second season it just got all weird.
Because there's only 4 episodes.
And they weren't, I don't know, it just wasn't good.
They weren't good. Yeah, it felt like OVAs or like in between season when they did nothing.
I feel like what happened was Netflix was like, no, we're not doing this. But then one of the guys is like, oh, come on. And he's like, oh, no. And then some other big shot was like, well, we're going to do it. He's like, fine, 4 episodes, and that's it. And they do the 4 episodes, and he's like, see, it was garbage. And then they're all like, yeah, it was garbage. But then some new big hotshot's like, oh, yeah, well, we're doing it anyways. And so they kept doing it.
Great. Off of that, let's read the next one. We got Osamake, Romcom where the childhood friend won't lose. She smiles just for me. Her name is Kachi, and she's even an award-winning high school girl writer, and she's beautiful. I know that she's totally out of reach for me and a normal high school kid named Maru. But I think something's there. No, there's definitely something there. Or so I thought. But Kachi has a boyfriend? Seeing me depress my friend ever since we were little, who's cute, cheerful, and loves to look at others, Shida, who also apparently had no problem telling me that she likes me for some reason, just suggested, let's get revenge.
I don't think I'm going to watch it.
Yeah, I was like, maybe the poster looks nice. I was like, this might be good, and then I read this, and I'm not interested.
Yeah. I'm just tired of harem animes.
Yeah, where like all the girls love this one guy for one weird reason nobody understands.
If it's a harem, but it's also got like a cool concept and like an interesting story behind it too.
Yeah, like High School DxD.
Because there have been some harems that have been really good.
Yeah, like High School DxD.
No. I don't know. I haven't seen it.
It's pretty good, Spen. I think you'd like it if you could look past the harem itchiness of it.
Well, no, I'm gonna watch it eventually. It's just that I just haven't gotten to it. That's really all it is.
It's a shame because I like the poster. I really like the poster of this anime, and I kind of wish there was gonna be more to it. That the synopsis didn't make me feel like I was gonna hate it.
I feel like if this was last season, I'd have given it a shot. But I'm just kind of a little like haremed out.
Yeah,
right now.
You're kind of animate out almost. It feels this season.
Yeah, I guess there's a lot of other stuff I was really excited for last season. But I also feel last season was way better than this one. Like last season was one of the best seasons we've had in a long time.
Yeah, I agree. Last season had a lot of really good stuff in it. But this has potential. There's actually quite a few things I put on my list. We'll see how good they are. Or bad.
All right. Well, I'm going to give this one a...
This is a nay. Nay.
I'm going to try it out.
I'll
probably get like halfway through it.
After you try it, and then that will let me determine if I want to watch it or not.
Oh, okay. So we've also got Shaman King 2021. So this is a relaunch, I believe, of the Shaman King.
So like they're redoing it, kind of like Unlimited Blade Works to Fate Stay Night.
I honestly don't know. I think so. It's a completely new anime adapting all 35 novels of the manga's complete edition. So this is more like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Okay.
That's my guess. But on a starry night, middle schooler Manta meets Yo Asakura, a young shaman who has the ability to talk to spirits, and also has the ability to let them possess him to use their powers. Yo has a heavy duty on his shoulders. He must become the Shaman King by winning the Shaman Fight, a tournament between shamans that happens only once every 500 years. Joined by his spirit medium fiancé, Ana Kiyoyama, his personal samurai spirit, Amidamaru, and his other friends. I didn't mean for that to sound offensive when I said that. I was just trying to pronounce it. And his other friends, Yo must also face a large evil Hao, a powerful man who aims to create a new world with only shamans by becoming the Shaman King himself. Shaman King was pretty popular when it first came through.
Really?
I think so. I remember people talking about it all the time. Or maybe just the books. I don't remember.
I've honestly never heard of it, but the fact that it has a limited 52 episode run,
that's not too bad.
I like things that have an ending. So knowing that it has an ending makes me more interested to want to watch it. Even though shonen and this kind of thing isn't my typical cup of tea, I love Fullmetal Alchemist, and I will give this a chance.
Yeah, me too. I'm going to give this one a yay.
Yeah, this is also a yay.
But if you prefer things with an ending, maybe we should put an ending on, an end date on our friendship.
Oh, wow.
Just so that, you can enjoy it more.
That's fair.
Let's see. We don't want it to go on too long. It's May 2021.
Yeah. So what are you thinking? Like,
I'm thinking
4 years?
I'm thinking maybe May, June. Let's go August 2024.
Okay.
August
first.
11th.
August 11th is the end of our friendship.
I'm just going to, give me a sec. I'm going to Google Calendar and I'm putting that in there.
Well, here, I'll beat you to it. Hey, Google. Set an alarm for August 11th, 2024.
All right. What time?
Let's say 12 a.m.
Sorry, I can't set alarms on your phone more than 24 hours before they're supposed to go off.
Oh,
you can set a reminder for then instead.
Okay, Google, set a reminder for August 11th, 2024.
Oh, crap. I'm still clicking through all the months.
Okay, on August 11th, 2024. At what time?
Afternoon.
Okay, on August 11th, 2024 at 1 p.m. What's the reminder?
End friendship with Spen.
Okay, I'll remind you on August 11th, 2024 at 1 p.m.
Perfect. Thank you, Google.
I sent mine as an event, so it's from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, we'll see what happens. We're gonna end it there. Are we gonna end it where we end on good terms, or are we gonna have a big blown out fight?
I think it's better to kind of let things play out for now.
Okay.
And just kind of see how it goes.
All right.
But there we go. You know what? As dumb as it sounds, it's like hanging out with you is more exciting now. There's actually
it's
a part in the pit of my stomach that's just more of kind of this is awesome.
We need to just cherish every moment now, leading up to this, because now we're on borrowed time, Ben. We need to make this podcast huge for the world to remember.
Does
that
mean that's the final podcast episode?
Oh my God! It's the final podcast episode.
Anybody listening, that is canon.
That'd be the perfect way to end this. Oh my God.
The Sunovageek podcast will be no more after August 11th, 2024.
Man.
Wow. That's cool.
Yeah. You know what else is cool? The poster of this next anime.
Go for it.
The Saint's magic power is omnipotent. Say, a 20-year-old office worker is whisked away to a whole new world. Unfortunately for Say, the ritual that summoned her meant to produce a saint who would be banished to the dark magic. Brought 2 people over instead of 1, and everyone prefers the second girl over Say. But this is just fine by Say, who leaves the royal palace to set up shop making potions and cosmetics with her newfound magic. Business is booming, and this might not be such a bad life after all. As long as her supposed sainthood doesn't come back to haunt her. Bum, bum, bum.
Bum, bum, bum. I mean, it seems kind of cool.
This has been on my watch list in Funimation because of the poster.
Oh, really?
yeah, I think the artwork on the poster is great. I like the simplicity of it. It looks beautiful. I'm gonna check it out.
Do you remember the anime that came out where it was something like the armor shop?
No.
So I can't remember if it was last season or the season before. There was like an anime that came out about like my life as like an armor in an armor shop or something like that. And it ended up being an anime about this guy who gets a job at this armor shop where they basically make like extremely skimpy female armor.
Okay.
And so it's all just about like skimpy, almost like lingerie armor that was being made for characters, because the guy who was in charge of it, he was just like, there's like an art to making armor, and the more erotic it is, the more powerful it is, or something like that. It was really dumb. And I think I'm hoping that this here about the magic potion shop is what I wanted that one to be about.
Oh, okay. You know what would be interesting is what if they did like a whole series, like multiple seasons of people in the town, each having their own like job and personal life, but loosely connect them. So like it's just one person's story this season, another person's story that season. You might see the person from season 1 in the background, kind of thing. It's just a bunch of like slice of life stuff, but creating this world basically with every season.
That'd be cool.
Yeah,
I'd like that.
It'd be kind of cool. I think would be interesting too is what if you made it the same timeline? So like, this is a special year, right? And then so you show everyone's story in that season for that year.
Oh, I want to do one of those. I want to do, and I would love to make a movie or a show, or like a bunch of different seasons of a show where it like follows like 6 or 7 different characters.
Yeah.
But then every season it shows it from the perspective of a different character.
Okay.
And so then there's like certain mysteries and stuff like behind the scenes between these different characters, but you never actually find out fully what's happening until you've watched like every single, like maybe in one episode there's like 3 characters are all like sitting on the couch, and then some other guy like comes inside and he's like covered in blood and bandages, like what the heck happened? And he's like, look, I can't talk about it. And then when it gets to like his season, it's just like all the crazy events that lead up to him getting to that point.
Yeah.
And it's just like
cool.
I'd love that.
Oh man, you know, there's an anime that kind of does that. Danganronpa or Danganronpa.
Oh yeah, because it's got all the different perspectives. That was actually one of the ones we were gonna do. Wait, am I thinking of a different show?
I know it has like 3 seasons that happen at the same time.
Oh, this one with that murder bear.
Yeah, that's
I don't
what it is,
care for this.
But it has like two or 3 storylines happening at the same time, and like each season gives you a different perspective of that storyline.
Yeah, I think you were saying you've got to kind of like watch the first if the way you watched it was the first episode of like 2 different seasons at a time.
Yeah, that's how it was. You had to like interchange for it to make sense and stuff. It was
It
was a lot of homework to watch a show.
I don't think I'd, even if someone paid me money, I don't think I'd be able to watch the show. Not because I just think I'd hate it that much. There's something about the idea and concept of like like it's just all about like murdering each other. I just can't bring myself to be interested.
I love those. That's my guilty pleasure. I'll watch anything that has that concept.
Well, because you really like, there was that game with the kid like joined like the app or on his phone or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Did you ever finish that?
No, because the show's not very good.
Oh, that's right. It ended up not being very good.
Yeah, it ended up just doing a bunch of boring stuff. Like it had an interesting concept and small interesting ideas, but then it did a lot of boring things with it. Either way,
we're kind of running out of time here, and we haven't really gone through. We haven't even gone. Oh, we've gone through about half of what we wanted, or kind of what we talked about going through before.
That's true. We're pretty close to half.
Yeah. Is there any specific ones that you want to talk about out of there? If you want to just quickly scan through, and then maybe we'll do another one next week. We might just say nah and just do other stuff.
I'm actually kind of interested in some of these, but ultimately I think you'll be fine.
Okay.
Nothing too crazy.
Because you were kind of interested in The World Ends With You.
Oh yeah, I was. The animation. Yeah, I'm waiting for the dub to come out because I want to watch it. I just like the art style. Art style is a huge factor for me for anime. I often judge a book by its cover of its art style, and that's what hooks me in to watch it. And then usually the first 2 episodes usually are what get me to stay or leave.
Yeah, because it's a huge, what do you call it, cult classic. Because it was originally a DS game.
Yeah, it was a video game, right? I think it was made by Square Enix, wasn't it?
Yeah, it came out on the DS. I loved the game, but I don't enjoy the anime.
Really?
I watched the first episode and I think we talked about this last podcast. I couldn't do it. It felt like it was like a little kid show.
Interesting.
I don't know. It was like it just felt like it was a flash animation.
Okay.
Most of the first episode was also it felt like it was like almost scene for scene stuff from the game.
Yeah. As
opposed
to instead of like translating it.
Yeah, it was kind of weird, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, because that was one of my favorite things about watching like the Persona 4 and Persona 5 animation was, I played the games, I love the games, so I knew the story, but I was curious like how they would kind of interpret that story and bring it to life.
Who knows? For that one, I'm gonna say nay.
Oh, well, it's a yay for me because of the art style.
The only one for me that really jumps out immediately is Seven Knights Revolution Hero Successor.
Yeah, that one kind of stuck out to me too.
The style of the poster for it reminds me of Dot Hack Sign.
I like the simplistic style of it too. It kind of makes me think of Final Fantasy Tactics, weirdly enough.
Yeah, I think it looks kind of cool. It's like another one of those. I guess we never read the synopsis for The World Ends With You. Do you want to read that quickly?
Not really.
All right. Well, I kind of want to read the one for Seven Knight Revolution. So.
All right, fine then. Go ahead.
Follow your desires. Long ago, heroes had saved this world. Many heroes fought against the powers of destruction and protected the world years in the future. Wait, what? Are they saying it's like years in the future, ... as if like that's what's happening?
I think it's time jump from there.
Oh, okay. So there's that, and then there's a time jump, and then the heroes have disappeared, or the heroes had disappeared as the years passed, and those possessing their powers called successors now have the fate of the world in their hands. One of the elite successors, known as the Seven Knights, named Faria, is fighting an army of the destruction when she saves a boy named Nemo. During the fierce battle, Nemo awakens the power of a hero even he didn't know about, and displays his power as a successor. But his hero is someone who no one knew and no one ever spoke of. So now begins the journey of the soul where the past and present collide.
Interesting.
So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I'm a little less excited now that I've read the synopsis, but I'm still fairly excited. So I'm going to give that one a big yay.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious. I'll give it a yay. I'm interested to check it out.
Yeah, there's a few others that seem kind of interesting, so...
Yeah, I do gotta say though, after reading a lot of these, I'm more excited to try out some of these animes now, as opposed to before we did this, I really hadn't found anything that caught my eye. So I guess I just missed a lot of stuff. And most of it's on Crunchyroll.
That is true. A lot of this is on Crunchyroll right now.
I never go on Crunchyroll, and that would probably explain why I don't see half.
But there's no Funimation icon. So some of them are probably on Funimation and Crunchyroll. Yeah, I don't know. This kind of gets me a little bit more excited into anime again. I kind of feel like my love of anime reawakening.
Nice. Well, I want to check. We should each check out one of these, and then we should talk about it next podcast.
Well, I'm hopefully gonna check out a bunch of these. What's really nice is we're almost halfway into this season, so any of these shows we're really into, we can just watch a couple of them. We can just watch a bunch of episodes now.
What we should do for next podcast, we should each watch 2 or 3 shows. And we'll talk about them, give our little mini reviews on them. What do you think?
We're each going to pick 3 shows?
Yeah.
Like we're each watching the same 3 shows, or we each just picking 3 of them?
I would say each pick 3.
Okay. Should we try to pick different ones from the other person?
Yeah.
Okay, well we'll talk about it after that.
All right, sounds good.
Oh, can I just mention that Boruto Naruto Next Generations is still going, and I hate the show now.
You didn't hate it before?
I didn't hate it before. Naruto is one of my favorite shows of all time because it's kind of the biggest one. When I first got into anime, Naruto was running, and it was kind of like the longest running show I've ever watched in my entire life. And then Boruto started, and the concept of it was really cool, but it's a new guy that's writing stuff for it because it's like the writer for Naruto was like, "Okay, I'm done," so he kind of like gave the stuff to his friend. And his friend was like, "Okay, I'm going to do Boruto." And some of the main characters, they're not the same anymore.
Oh.
So some of the dialogue options that characters say, like they wouldn't have said, at least in my opinion. And it kind of sucks.
Okay. Oh.
So I just wanted to say I'm mad at it. And there was a lot of potential there, but they squandered it. So
you have every right to feel that way about it.
So cool. That's all I got.
Oh, great. Sounds good. Well, I guess we'll see you next time, Spen.
Well, we have to because now there's an endpoint, so we can never miss an episode. It's like,
oh my God, Case Closed is still going on?
Yeah, Case Closed is still going on.
Holy crap! It's got episode 1006.
Yep.
Man, I loved that show as a kid.
I couldn't get into it when I was younger.
I love mysteries, so like I was really into it.
I was just all about like the fights.
But holy crap, 1000 episodes.
There are a lot of episodes.
Oh my god, how is he not grown up yet?
He's slowly aged over time.
Really?
Yeah, at least that's what it seems like. Or the art style has changed. I don't know.
All right.
How cool would it be if he's aging, like, because he became really young.
Yeah.
And then what if he's just slowly aging, like every year the show goes on, he ages for. When did the show start?
1000 episodes ago?
Oh, okay. I don't know. I don't feel like doing the math right now.
I'm looking right now. Case closed start date. Started in 2004. So it's been going on for 17 years.
So technically, I've got an answer here where it says technically the story plays out in real time, but realistically it is at the whim of the author.
Okay. I love that.
Yeah.
Technically takes place in real time, but, you know, author decides what happens.
So time technology is kind of passing along, but very little time has actually passed in the main story. Occasionally they'll make references of it being months since a previous case or other reference point, but they
1000 episodes.
Yeah, in episode 521, they referenced a case that in the anime they said happened a year ago, but that was like hundreds of episodes before that one.
Oh my goodness.
So not much time has passed, but he is slowly aging over time.
We should do a separate podcast where we just watch Case Closed episodes.
That'd be a lot of work.
And only talk about Case Closed. I don't really want to. I hate shows that last forever. I feel like this.
I don't think that one's ever gonna end.
I have nostalgia of this show, and I loved it. And I have a feeling.
But that's what's great about mystery shows. There's always mysteries to solve.
Grow to hate this show because it's so much. 1000 episodes.
Well, because wasn't he like an adult and then he got turned into a kid?
Yeah.
And then I thought the premise of the show for the longest time was him trying to return to being an adult.
That's what it was. Like, how has he not figured it out 1000 episodes later?
Because wasn't there like a girl he was in love with or something like that too?
Yeah, and he lives with her.
As the kid now?
Yeah,
Does she know?
No. So his name is Conan Edogawa, I believe.
Yeah, because I believe the show's supposed, like, translated over, it's supposed to be Detective Conan.
Okay. Anyways, he's like the world's greatest detective. He's a genius. He's basically a modern Sherlock Holmes. And he gets turned into a kid, and he has to try to figure out how he got turned into a kid and become adult again. But nobody takes kids seriously, so he lives with Rachel, which is his best friend / love interest, and her half-beat dad, who is a private detective. And her dad is a terrible detective, but because he is there, he often always knocks her dad out and uses a voice modulator to pretend to be him and solve all these cases.
That's really cool.
Yeah, the concept was awesome. I loved it. But 1000 episodes, Spen.
Wow.
I can't get over how long it's been.
We'll just do a podcast episode for every episode of Detective Conan.
But we can after 2024.
But we only have like 3 years.
I mean, there's almost 1000 episodes. How many days are in 3 years?
Well, there's like 356.
365?
Well, we have a leap year because that'll help us out a bit.
There you go. So 365 times 3.
Then add 1 for potential.
There's 1095 days, 96 days.
So a couple days we'll have to watch 2 episodes.
No, I don't think 96 episodes will come out in the next 3 years. So we can just do 1 episode a day. We'll do a podcast every day. We'll talk about that episode leading up until this point.
How cool. I mean, we're not going to do that, but how cool would it be if we actually did?
That'd be borderline, I feel like, neurotic.
Because I tried to catch up on One Piece by watching an episode every day, and I eventually I grew tired of it.
I would grow very tired of it, too.
I think I made it to, like, episode 300. And then I got to the point where I was just like, I can't do this anymore.
I don't know.
But it's also because One Piece drags on from time to time.
Like, I want to watch it, but I'm so scared that I'll hate it. Because I used to love it. Like, this was my favorite anime as a kid.
Well, we'll find a way to do it. Because
All right.
hearing you talk about it, I'm really interested in the show.
Oh man, one of my favorite episodes was about the Moonlight Sonata.
Is it about the what?
It's called the Moonlight Sonata. It's really good.
Oh, that sounds kind of cool.
It's great. It's a 2-parter.
Dang it. All right. Well, we're going to end the podcast for real this time.
Okay. All right. We're ending for real.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye.